Titanium Radio at Titanium_radio, man. It's your boy B Davis. DJ QT on the ones and twos, man.
Yes,
Shouts
sir.
out to Joker.
Yes,
Shouts
sir.
out to Darius. Shouts out the whole Titanium Radio family out there. Yes.
we
All right. Another Thursday. We are here. Special guest on the phone with us. We got Dr. Lamar Price on the phone. How you doing, Lamar Price? How you doing, doctor?
I'm doing good, DJ Davis. What's going on, big dog?
I'm doing good, man. Shouts out to Pete Higgins for hooking us up with you. You'll be in town this Saturday, August 17th, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Holistic Health Seminar at Parker Memorial Community Center, which is big because you'll be in the building spreading a lot of great information. Tell us a little bit more about what we can see at the Holistic Health Seminar.
Well, man, I appreciate the time and opportunity and be before your audience. And for all the listeners in the Hartford community and the surrounding areas, we're encouraging all of the families, the friends, the neighbors, the neighbors, and everybody to come on out. The cool thing about this Holistic Health Seminar is that it is free. Free, free, free. You know we love that word, free. So why not come out and get some free information that's going to be life-changing and geared toward holistic health. And for those that don't really understand the word holistic, it's a fancy new word. It's trending. Holistic is basically whole, the whole entire body. I'm going to be educating on how the body works, anatomy, physiology, how the nervous system works, how your pancreas works, what is diabetes in relationship to the pancreas, how high blood pressure functions, and what's normal, what's good, what's bad in relationship to the heart, how the brain controls all the organ. And for all you ladies out there that are dealing with uterine issues, fibroids, heavy flow, menstrual cramping, I'm going to be talking about uterine health. For all the fellas out there, they're having some issues down under. You know, a lot of brothers are getting younger, DJ, that they're calling me all the time saying, yo, you know, I'm not really working right. You know, something's going on. And is it this? Is it cancer? Is it my prostate? Well, come on out so we can get some answers. We're going to have an open forum. We're going to do some Q&A. We're going to have some other speakers that are there in the community, from Hartford, who have testimonies of how they were diagnosed with all kind of diseases and how they went a natural route. Now, we're always going to encourage people, if you have medical emergencies, 911s, and all of these things, you got to call 911, go see your regular doctors. But for those that are trying to maintain a good quality of health, come on out, get some good tools, some natural things that you can do right out of your kitchen, right out of the regular grocery store. Stop, shop, and shopping right in Whole Foods and go in there and pick up some fruits and vegetables, how to create some blends and drinks together that'll make you feel great. So it's going to be something for the community. We're asking everybody to take the time, invest in your health, because your health is your wealth.
Wow, man, that's amazing, man. I'm so glad that you were able to call in, and I'm so glad you passing through this weekend. That's going down Saturday, August 17th. That's the Holistic Health Seminar, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Parker Memorial Community Center. All right, Dr. Lamar Price is on the phone with us, man. How long you been a certified iridologist, a nutritionist, and a herbalist? How long you been those things?
Yeah, man, those are some fancy titles, and yeah, they do come with certifications and a lot of studies, and you got to get, you know, the accreditation from the city and the county and the state so they can recognize you to go out here and, you know, solidify natural healing through natural products like plants and vegetables. And that started after I left the medical field, and that's back in 2014. After 2014 going into 15, I just went gun-ho into the natural world of medicine. I was looking for ways how I can kind of help tell people what's really going on without them just saying my stomach hurt, my back hurt, my head hurts. And I just say, oh, you got Crohn's disease, colon cancer. Oh, you got arthritis. Oh, you got a tumor in the brain. Well, let's identify the source to the problem so we can help people eradicate these symptoms. And I went into that in 2014 and 15 and got the certification, learned all about iridology, looking in the eyes to, you know, diagnose people. And then that's how the ball just started rolling from there. Meet one person, they get results, and they tell another person word of mouth, and it spread like wildfire. So you're looking at about 8 years now, 9 years.
Wow. I'm guessing you do a lot of these seminars around the country. Is that right?
Absolutely. I stay busy. I'm constantly traveling. I choose car and road, to travel. I don't do too many planes unless I have to go out of the state or the country. But for the most part, I'm pretty booked up throughout the year. And anytime I go somewhere, I speak to a small group, a large group, or a church group, or a men's group, a women's group. Someone always gets excited about the information. They learn something new. They try me out, see how real I am, because talk is cheap. Actions speak louder than words. They get amazing results, and then they run and tell it to somebody else. And before I know it, I'm being booked somewhere else. Can you come talk to this school? Can you come talk to a church group? Can you come talk to a senior group? Or I got about 40 people at my house. Can you come out? So people are constantly keeping me busy, because anytime you get on to something that actually works and you do get results, and I keep it simple, it just spreads, because everybody wants to find something that they can get better with better information and get better results.
Definitely. What scares you the most today about the state of health of African Americans around the country?
Well, I like that question. That's a good one. And I do have some observations that I'm seeing that causes reservation in concerns towards the African American community, and not just that community, but any melanated community, brown skin, a darker shade of brown or a lighter shade of brown eyes, melanated, Latino, Hispanic, the Islanders, the West Indies, Natives. Well, there's a target on some of the minority communities, and I don't think it's racism, and I don't think it's just strategically an attack, but in the medical field, it's a thing called health care, and health care should, by definition, mean we care for your health, or preventative medicine means we're going to give you something that's going to prevent you from getting worse or getting sick. Unfortunately, in the low-income communities where there's low education, you got a lower tax bracket, you don't get the same type of quality education curriculum in the school system, and you're not getting the quality grocery stores, five-star restaurants because of the income bracket. So in the lower communities, which is not racism, but if you look at the numbers demographically, it's going to hit minorities, people of color. So they're not getting the health advice that they need. They're not getting the nutrients and minerals that they need because of income. So they're more readily to choose, and I don't want to discredit any of these restaurants. I'll just say fast food without calling names for the sake of the radio audience and the system. You go to fast food restaurants, you're going to get fast food, processed foods. In lower income, traditionally, you're going to find yourself shopping where you can get some of the cheaper foods, cheaper quality of foods, like a big box of this for $2, and it's, full of chemicals, or sodas that are on sale. And you go to higher income bracket neighborhoods, they're going to get better health care. They're going to have Zoom. They got Samba. They got yoga, they got Pilates, they got Whole Foods, they got better education and health awareness. They're marching, they're walking, they're running, they're jogging. The family structure is still there. But in our kind of communities, in the urban, ethnic, and lower income, we suffer more health issues. And I don't want to blame it on one certain thing without causing conflict, but it's a really, really obvious situation that's happening in our communities. Look at our communities. Who are the sickest people? Who are on more medications? Who's having more surgeries? Who's dying the fastest? And that's what you're going to see in our community, and that's what alarms me, and that's where my concern is. And I know this is not an opinion, DJ. This is a fact. It's a lack of knowledge, because when I travel to some of these high-income neighborhoods, I go to the Hamptons, I go to Beverly Hills, I go to Greenwich, I go over into, certain communities out there where you all live. I go into these nice neighborhoods with the beautiful homes, gated communities. These people are eating really clean. They're already educated on nutrients and minerals, the alkaline lifestyle. Their faith is different. Their mentality is different. And you see less disease and less sickness. So that is my biggest concern, and it's a lack of knowledge. And that's why Peter Higgins is constantly, orchestrating these type of events to bring out the community so we can get educated on how to be healthy, even in the midst of our situation financially and where we're at. Because most people think, oh, it's very expensive to be healthy. Oh, it costs a lot to eat clean or alkaline or healthy. And that's not true. It's very costly to eat unhealthy because you're going to pay for it in the end when you end up in the hospital with a lot of medical bills, and you can even lose your life. And it's not the disease that's killing us, it's the lack of knowledge.
That's dope. That's dope. A lot of gems.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of gems, QT. Holistic Health
Right.
Seminar, Saturday, August 17th, with this guy I got on the phone right now, Dr. Lamar Price. Doctor, I got a lot of questions. I don't know how much time you got. You got some time?
Man, I'm on your time.
Okay, cool. Perfect. All right, so right before I left the crib, right, my mom's, she's West Indian, she's Jamaican, so she was cooking up some plantains, right? Now, these plantains were the biggest plantains I've ever seen. They were probably the size of, like, eggplants, pause. Like, the plantains are like bananas, if those I don't know. But these were, like, the size of, like triple, quadruple the size, right? So even in our attempts of eating clean and fruits and vegetables, nowadays in 2024, what I'm starting to see is a lot of our fruits and vegetables look like they're genetically modified. How does that play a part in eating clean?
Yeah, you know what, DJ, that is a good observation. That's happening, and it's obvious. If you live long enough, at least more than a generation, which is 20 years, you're going to see things today from 2000 up until now with the fruits, the vegetables, and the foods that you really did not see back then. And I'm in my 50s, born in the 70s. I can assure you, coming up as a child in the 70s and 80s, a lot of foods were tasting different then, and a lot of foods were obviously smaller. And I also remember fruits and vegetables and plants rotting and decaying and bred very, very fast. We had to shop weekly. But now we're in a generation where there's a lot of additives, a lot of preservatives to preserve the foods. And in order to preserve it, they have to use a mineral called salt, which is one of the most prolific, well-known worldwide minerals in its abundance around the world. One of the highest minerals that's in its abundant forms is salt. We can't breathe without it. We can't have oxygen without it. The salt is everywhere around the world in the ocean. 80% of the earth is made up of salt, and not just the ocean, but the land, the salt and deserts and just the ground, the minerals. And because of salt that gets into the fruits and vegetables that we eat through photosynthesis and transfer of energy of the sun going into the earth, when I studied agriculture science and I took nutrition, I learned something about food science, that the salt is there to preserve it. So it's created through the laws of nature and universal principles that we're only supposed to remove it from its life source, from the earth, from the trees, from the ground, and time is on our side with the minimum amount of time to consume it, not to just store it up. So we're only supposed to eat our daily portion, daily rations, and that's why back in the days our families used to go to the markets daily to get breads and get foods daily and cook daily fresh foods. But now, because of population, increase in size of numbers, and communities are growing, and we have more people on the planet, 7.2 billion people now, or maybe even more than that. They had to come up with a system to preserve a lot of food. So when you go into the grocery stores, you see pylons and tables full of fruits and vegetables. How are they sitting there all week, 2, 3, 4 weeks later, and they're still intact like they're brand new? That's because of what is called genetically modified organism, GMO. And they came up with it through science, food science, to add it to the seeds, to add it to the essence or the matter, the mass and matter of what we're consuming. Now, are these things going to kill us? No, they don't kill us. Can they make us sick? Some of the stuff can make us feel a little weird. Does it taste different? Yes. Does the size change? Yes. Color change, texture. We will see some differences in the actual fruits today and vegetables today of those of yesterday. Yes, you're going to see plantains that are larger. But if you go in the almanac or talk to some people that are 80 and 90s from the parish, from the islands, and from the different areas and districts, they will say, oh, we had large plantains when I was a kid. Yes, I do remember seeing grapes without seeds seeds or, seedless this and that.
Gotcha.
And a lot of people are concerned because we've only lived so long and we're trying to figure out where's all of this stuff coming from.
Right.
A lot of it is tempered with, but I tell people, worry about nothing, be anxious for nothing. If it works with you mentally to eat something that you're comfortable with, then get organic whole foods. But for the most part, our bodies are uniquely designed to deal with anything that's foreign. Pathogens, ptomaine, E. coli, food poisoning, go to a cookout, go to a family function, you eat some casserole, the person mixed some stuff together, bacteria and germs, dirty knives, didn't wash their hands, you ate it, it smelled good, tastes good, but then you got home and vomited. Why did you vomit? Because on a cellular level, your immune system, 42 pints of lymphatic fluid and white cells, they see what you don't see. So if anything, bacterial, virus, germs, pathogens, E. coli, ptomaine, mold, mildew, enter into the bloodstream, we have an immune system that's fearfully, wonderfully created. It's awesome. It's going to help us to deal with these things that we don't know about. So there are spiritual principles that line up with natural principles where we need to get to a point where we really don't overkill, be over analytical, worrying about stuff and getting anxiety, and then we become over compulsive in our thinking that don't eat this, don't eat that, don't eat this, it's fake, it's not real. We've been eating candy apples since we was little, and that's genetically modified, but we didn't complain about it. I hope that answered your question. I hope you like that answer.
Absolutely. Thank you. That gave me a lot more clarity, and it gave me a lot more reassurance with my decision to eat seedless watermelons. Everybody always get on my back because I prefer the seedless watermelons. I hate spitting out the seeds. Pause.
And that's something that you just said is critical thinking, inductive reasoning. Why are there seedless watermelon? Well, men didn't create the seedless watermelon. If you take those little tiny white seeds or even the little tiny black seeds that are in it, put it in the ground, you're going to grow another watermelon because everything that has a seed produces life. You can eat spinach, but where is the seed? You don't see the seed in the leaf, so it obviously comes from the blood of the budding of the flowers. As a farmer, as someone who's planted things that are seedless, the terminology, DJ, is seedless means less seeds to no mature seeds, but when people take words by definition out of translation, they mistransliterate it or they take it out of context, they're going to say, oh, well, if it don't have a seed, it must be man-made. Well, there's a lot of things that you cannot see the seeds or they have less seeds to minimum seeds. That's why they came up with the terminology seedless. But if you Google it, it's all algorithms. They're going to say, oh, it's man-made, hybrid, it's not real. Well, if it can rot, spoil, decay, and die, it's a living organism, and it has the nutrients and minerals, but it's all about give or take. I would never want to feed a little baby watermelon, which is soft enough for a 6-month child. 6 months can eat watermelon. But what if it's got the big black seeds in it? They can choke. What if I give the baby a seedless watermelon? They can swallow those tiny little seeds, and they can still get the nutrients and minerals. And this is my science, not an opinion. It's my science of agriculture that seedless does not mean that it's man-made or genetically modified. People will challenge that, and that's fine, but go back in the almanac, the days of the Greeks and Persians, go even back to Egypt, they had seedless fruits and vegetables. They just call it seedless because of the less seeds or to no mature seeds. And that's just another thing that people are taking out of context.
Right. And is it becoming easier to get black people into the holistic lifestyle?
Only because it's trending. Anything that's a trend, everybody follows a trend. If you go on Netflix and you want to know what everybody's watching, it's going to say trending now.
Right.
These are the top movies on Netflix. If you want to know what stocks to invest in, you look at the revenue and trend. This is what everybody's putting their money on. These stocks right here. This is the trend. So what's trending in the holistic health community? The word alkaline, sea moss, walnut, black seed, moringa, everybody's going holistic, all natural. The word conscious, the word woke, those type of terminology is making it easy for more and more people to gravitate because they start to hear it more and more.
So how do we transform it from a trend into like a mainstay in our community, in our culture?
Exactly what we're doing right now. Awareness, word of mouth, getting it out into the airways, getting it into the atmosphere. Sound is a form of energy, and energy transfers. If we could start speaking more positive sounds on the radios, the urban community, they love the hip-hop music. Music is a foundation. It's a platform. The commercials, we need to hear more commercials. Eat right, and you'll live right. Eat healthy, you will be healthy. Eat more fruits, drink more water. Water is essence of life. The blood is 92% water, not 92% Gatorade, not 92% Canada Dry, not 92% Monster and energy drinks. Now, people can eat and drink whatever they want, but we need to put a lifestyle back into the community of where we come from. There was a time when our ancestors had the castor oil, cod liver oil, prune juice, molasses. They had the callaloo. They ate ackee.
Oh, man.
There was a time when they had sorrel, pineapple, ginger. You don't even hear about these things too much anymore, the plantains and the ground provision and the food and the yams, the dumplings. We hear buffalo wings, French fries, mac and cheese and,
chicken tenders,
hamburgers and chili cheese fries and hot dogs. And so we're getting away from all that. Now all we know is donuts and sodas and cakes and cookies and chips. And that kind of stuff doesn't have enough nutrients to keep a good homeostasis or health constitution. And the more we eat junk, the more the community becomes junk, because you are what you eat. If we could start pushing an initiative to push health conscious, get it back to the kids so they can know how to get their A's and B's and not have low test scores because they can't focus, because they can't keep their memory, cognition, and critical thinking. Those skills are relying on brain. The brain needs to have more hydrogen nutrients and not so much sodas. And in that way, they can learn. We got to focus on our next generation. Our youth is where it's at. I'm encouraging people, bring your kids out. I'm not going to bore the kids. I got something for the kids better than Sesame Street and Romper Room. I got something these kids need to hear, but a lot of people say, oh, this is an adult conversation. Well, these kids are talking back, and they're out of control and don't understand anything because they're toxic. Let's teach people how to be alkaline, have that lifestyle, and it's very simple. You know what, DJ? It goes back to old school principles. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. We don't even talk about that no more. It's that simple, and it is a lifestyle.
That's a fact, man. Nobody says that anymore. And when you said prune juice, you just brought me back to 6 years. I was 6 years old, and I had to sit at the table. I couldn't leave the table until I finished my prune juice. It was terrible. Terrible. You just brought me back saying prune juice. It's crazy.
Interesting thing what you said about that is that you sit at the table. When I go into these homes, 90% of my clients with kids, and it's dinner time, the kids are all over the place. There was a time when we had to sit down and eat whatever our parents gave us, and we didn't leave the table until it was all done. And if we threw a fit about it, we either got pinched, we got hit, or we went to bed hungry. And now we're in a day where the kids have been liberated, and kids can make their own decisions at 2 and 3 years old and tell the parents what they want. And I want this, I want the Cheetos, I want fries, I want McDonald's and Burger King, mommy, and you better give it to me or else. And the parents are no longer parenting kids. We're at the point now in mass numbers, we're seeing an influctuation of a lot of bad parenting. And I don't want to point the fingers at anybody how to be a parent or what's right or what's wrong. I just say it's bad parenting when we have so many sick kids now with autism and all of these kids coming up with learning disorders, and kids are talking back. Kids have disobedience, rebellion, and we did not see this in mass numbers back in the days. You go back 2 or 3 generations, it wasn't like that, but now it goes all the way back to the diet. Kids are just eating any and everything, and most of their diet is made up of processed foods, and it makes up a processed brain, and then these kids become processed, and then the parents got to process how to have a conversation with their kids because they're no more liberated. They got these civil liberties now that allow the kids to actually talk back and wish their parents would say something to them. And that's a bad place for us to be, but I know that's the generation we're living in. So I want to encourage everybody, you can fix your own household situation by getting back to those traditional family values and morals. Let's parent. Let's not provoke the kids into wrath. Let's get these kids more nutrients, more waters. Train them how to eat apples and celery with peanut and raisins and honey on it. and train their palate not to just want candy, candy, candy all day long, because these kids lose their mind if they don't get no candy.
Oh, man, I had that question in my head. How dangerous is sugar?
Well, it all depends. There's good sugar, there's bad sugar. There's fake sugar, there's real sugar. If you want to keep it real and keep it 100 and keep it authentic, you are what you eat. Metabolism is the process of turning food into energy. There's good energy, there's bad energy. We all know that. And so for every cause, there's an effect. Every action, there's an equal reaction. If you put processed, man-made, modified, enriched, it went from brown, natural ground, from the ground brown. It went from natural to unnatural. They turn it white. You got your sweeteners like stevia, sweet and low. You got aspartame, saccharin that they're putting in the drinks. You got sodium dextrose, bicarbonate, benzates. You got sucrose, sucralose. And then you got fructose and high cornstarch. They put all of these fake sweeteners, which are man-made. They're genetically modified from a natural source and turned into unnatural. Well, game recognizes game. We are earthlings. If you don't put something in your body that's not from the earth, the body's going to turn it into negative energy, which is stored energy known as saturated fats. And we got 33 trillion cells around the body, and they'll hold on to it in your thighs, your gut, your butt. And then when it gets inside of you and it becomes acidic, it turns into acid, metabolic waste, then disease can feed off of it. I don't want to just say cancer, but anything, because all disease thrives in an acidic body. The blood is already acidic, being filtered by the liver every 5 minutes to remove the toxic waste, send it to the kidneys, called creatine uric acid levels. Acid is your urine. But if we just keep putting more fake sugars in our body and more sweeteners and more junk food full of sugars, it's highly addictive. It's going to work on the dopamine of the brain, the endorphins, and your brain's going to want it and want it, want it more and more and more. And then the more we get these fake sugars, the more we become toxic, the more our attitudes, our thinking, our decisions, our attraction to a toxic environment, and that just keeps the whole community toxic. If we could get our communities back on raw brown sugar, natural cane, like in Jamaica, in the islands, the cane sugar, if we could get people back to the agaves, the honeys, the nectars, natural things that are brown from the ground to sweeten our foods up, or just the natural sugar from the watermelon, natural sugar from the orange. I've worked in the medical field, medically trained. I wasn't trained in nutrition, so as a medical physician, I'm telling all my patients, stay away from the sugars and the fruits. It's not good for you. You know, disease feeds off of it. Well, I was ill-learned. After learning nutrition, after studying what is the sugar from the plant, nature, natural, and your body naturally turns it into positive energy, just like the state of Connecticut is called kinetic energy, in motion. You're going to burn it off, known as trans fats, the carbs and the calories that we could just transfer right out the body. But all of these fake sugars is going to be stored, and then we become toxic. I hope that made sense, sir.
That made a lot of sense.
Sorry for being long-winded, but I wanted to be thorough on that answer.
Listen, Dr. Price, you just dropped a bar. Kinetic, like the state of Connecticut? You was a rapper in your past life or something?
Yo, 1213 in the place to be.
Hey, before I get you off the line, you've been mentioning this a lot during the whole interview, and I've heard about it, but I'm not too sure exactly what it is, right? What exactly is alkaline? And if you could, what is an alkaline-based diet?
That's a good question, and that's another trending word. So everybody say, yes, I drink alkaline water. I have an alkaline lifestyle. I have an alkaline diet. I'm on an alkaline regimen. So look at the word. And in etymology and studying words, you always want to go to the origin of the word so you can understand to be able to approve of the word. Study to show yourself approved. You got to rightly define it, definition, break it down, dissect the word to get to the truth. Now, the truth about alkaline is not alkaline water. That's just a fancy label. The word alkaline is English, which comes from the Arabic word al-khalay. It's a guttural. Al-khalay in Arabic means base foundation. So anytime you hear the word alkaline, all you're doing is saying base foundation. Well, if you want an alkaline diet, you want a diet that comes from the base foundation of the earth, because we are earthlings. What is the foundation of the earth? The ground. So anything that comes out of the ground is quite naturally already alkaline. It's going to remove bad acids from the body and make you alkaline by feeding amino acids into the body. So all fruits, all vegetables, nuts and grains, everything from the earth, which is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the earth will produce after its own kind. Every seed, every plant, every tree, every herb is going to heal your body because your body is looking for 12 vitamins, 16 minerals, 28 trace minerals, and 112 elements that come from the sun at 1,886 miles per second from 93 million miles away. The sun is the number one source of alkalinity because it's the foundation of all nutrients and minerals that goes into the ground, that transfers, the energy transfers to the plants. We eat all of the plants and everything from the earth, we become alkaline. But if we are acidic, then disease can thrive. So it's not that the water is alkaline. You could put lemon in your water. You could put lime in your water, cucumber, ginger. You could put berries in. Anything from the earth is going to alkaline the body. That's basically what the word simply means, base foundation. So my lifestyle is based on the foundation of the ground, the earth. I want to stay grounded, rooted and grounded in the word of nature, universal principles and laws that'll naturally keep me healthy so I don't have to deal with sickness and disease rinking through my bloodstream. I hope that made sense, sir.
Definitely, man. And my last question is, if you were talking to somebody that wanted to live to be 100 years old, they're a young person, they're in their 20s right now, what's some advice would you give them to accomplish that goal?
My philosophy, my belief is based on facts. I talk to 100-year-old people. I've talked to people who lived over 100 years old, and I asked all of them because I never lived to 100, so I can't really advise anybody on how to do it unless I talk to somebody who is saying it ain't nothing to it but to do it. The Greeks have a concept, just do it. It goes all the way back to Egyptian principles, the Babylonian principles of the mind. As a person thinks, so are you. You got to be transformed physically in the natural realm first by the spiritual mind. We are mind, body, soul, and spirit, all four parts of the human being called a dichotomy. If you can keep your first most important principle of health, of who you are as an individual, as a human being, the most important principle to keep first is the mindset. Set your mind. It fixates your mind on positive thinking, on positive affirmation. Always remind yourself, reiterate, rehearse. Renew your thinking daily that I will make it to 100. I can make it to 110. As you think, so are you. But that's just the mental. The physical part, because the mental is your faith. Without the work is dead. The physical part is the work. I'm going to drink more water because the life of the flesh is the blood, and blood is 92% water, hydrogen, oxygen. You got to stay hydrated. You can eat all the fruits and vegetables you want, but without the water, me as a vegetarian lifestyle and eat fish, that's the only meat that I eat, at 53 years old, about to have a birthday in a few days, at my age, I feel like I'm in my 20s. When people look at me, they say, oh, you look like you're in your 30s. You look so young. How do you have this so much energy like a youth? Because I think that I'm younger, way younger than what I am, and I'm going to act way younger than what I am because I want to feel way younger than what I am, but I can't feel it unless I believe it. That's where it starts, in the mind. Encourage people to keep the mindset that you are way younger than what you are, and don't focus on, oh, I'm getting older. I've reached another year. Oh, I'm about to get sick. If you keep a positive attitude and think on things that are true, just good report. Think on things that are positive. Your body is a reflection of your brain. Think, I'm going to make 100. You can make 100. And you got to believe it by putting the work. Eat more fruits and vegetables. Eat clean. Eat healthy. Stay away from toxic environment. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Forgive everybody you can. Love. That's the most powerful form of energy. If you have a heart and a mind that says, you know what? You talk about me. You hate hate on me, you think I'm crazy, you think I'm bad, that's okay. Believe what you want. I'll give you a pass. I'll forgive you. I got to live. Because at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the day, if you want to make it to 100, 99 and a half won't do. You got to walk right, talk right, live right, think right, and trust in something way bigger than the universe, something way bigger than yourself, and put your faith in something higher so you can make it to higher ground. Otherwise, you're going to fall for anything.
Wow.
Thank you, man, for your time. Thank you for listening, and I appreciate that.
Thank you, man. Holistic Health Seminar going down Saturday, August 17th. 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Parker Memorial Community Center. Y'all know where that's at, but that's 2621 Main Street in Hartford. Dr. Lamar Price, thank you. Give out your Instagram, your contact information, in case the people want to follow you.
Yeah, if you want to just Google my name, Lamar Price, look me up. I'm the black guy with the blue scrubs on. That's usually the picture you're going to see. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, social media. Facebook is Lamar Edward Price or Dynamic Health Solutions. Keep that in mind, Dynamic Health Solutions. And you can find me on Instagram, social media platforms. Just Google my name. You can also reach me. There's a phone number on those pages where you can reach me direct if you have medical questions, health questions. If somebody in the family doesn't feel good, they're sick, they're looking for an alternative to all of what is going on in life, tell them to reach out. I don't have the answers for everything. I'm not the smartest one in the room. I will never try and be that person, but I do have a few little bits of information that is life-changing and it can help somebody. And so you can reach me once again at Lamar Edward Price online. Just Google the name. You'll find me, or Dynamic Health Solutions.
Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to play this interview back the next time I get an urge to go to a fast food restaurant.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. And thank you once again, DJ QT, DJ. You, Davis, you're doing an awesome job, man, to have that voice to reach out to many. And thank God for technology and your voice being heard everywhere. And I hope this message bless someone. I hope it challenges someone's thinking. I hope it encourages people to use critical thinking, inductive reasoning, and know that the body heals naturally. Time heals all wounds.
Definitely, man. Dr. Lamar Price, happy early birthday to you as well, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man. Titanium Radio, keep it locked. It's 89.9 QFM.